Hi all, Loz D, Punch Out TV. How you all doing on this Tuesday evening? I hope you're all good out there. I really do. Right, quickly want to talk about Derek Chisora versus Otto Wallin, as it's supposed to be his last fight in the UK. I do believe Dell's supposed to be having a fight in Zimbabwe where he was born. That's what I'm led to believe. I'm sure I've seen that on an interview somewhere a while ago. Right, Derek Chisora versus Otto Wallin. What do I think about it? If I'm honest, I'll be glad to see Derek go. With all due respect, I called for Derek to retire after the Joyce fight, after the Joseph Parker fight, the second one, because to me he had no legs left. He was breathing heavy. He was staggering back to the corner. But fair credit to Derek, he's gone on and got a couple of wins since then, and he's looked all right. Against Tyson Fury, didn't do anything. He had an all right first round. Against Pulev, he did well. Was it a lucky win? A lucky decision? I don't know. You could argue that. He did very well against Joe Joyce, putting Joe Joyce on his arse. Still, for me, he was breathing heavy. Against Gerald Washington, looked awful, if I'm honest. Now, this isn't a bash Derek video, not at all. I'd be sad to see Derek go, because he's brought us loads of, well, me personally, he's brought me a lot of entertainment over the years. He's been a great ambassador to the sport, to heavyweight boxing. The man's been in with everybody. There's no one who's got a better resume than this guy for being in with people. Yes, he's got 13 losses on his record, but to be fair, if you look at the amount of people he's been in with, you know, Tyson Fury, Dillian White, Joseph Parker, Ajit Kabayel, David A, Pulev twice, Fury 3 times, you know, he's been in with everyone. Dillian White twice, you know, knocked out Spilker, beat David Price. He's had a good career, Derek has, for me, but they're calling this a last dance, and I think, me personally, I think it's right. I've always, for the last three years, ever since the Parker fight, was it 3, maybe 4 years, I've always protested for this guy to call it a day, because I've seen the way how Derek talks. He slurs a lot. I mean, it's not for me to tell him. I'm nobody to tell this guy, but this is how I feel. The guy slurs a lot. Sometimes it doesn't make sense when he's talking in sentences. You know, I watched him on Talk Sport one day, and Simon Jordan asked him a question about something, and I don't know what his answer was, but he went round the block about 15 times. And even Simon Jordan was looking at him like as if say, what's this guy on about? But, you know, I had someone rip me, well, not rip me, I had some guy give me shit once on one of my videos saying, why are you so concerned about Derek calling it a day and stuff like this? And I basically said, well, if anything happens to him, what would you say? And he shut the fuck up. He didn't know what to say to that. And it's only because, like I say, I like Derek. He's a British hero, isn't he? Every Brit loves Derek. You know, he's been a people's champion over here for most of his life. He's done some outlandish stuff, throwing tables at people, and you know, he's a character, isn't he, Del? He's a character. That's why people love him, and he can fight, and he's got good power. You know, I remember the fight back with Carlos Takam when Takam was basically piecing him up, and then bang, out of nowhere, he got him. You know, he's got 2 daughters. I would like Derek to come back as do punditry work, you know, commentating, something like that, because he's quite funny when he gate crashes people's interviews, and he's also very good at interviewing people, even though sometimes I do struggle to understand what he's saying. But Del, I just think he's been in too many wars. The man's had too many fights. You can't tell me that Derek needs money. I mean, I don't know his finances, but he must have made a packet, an absolute packet. He's the only guy who I know who's got 13 L's on his record, and was still getting box office and pay-per-view and stuff like this. Now, I just looked on Google, and apparently, because I wanted to see where this fight was, not where it was, which network it was on, and it said on Google, this is November the 24th, it's TNT Sports box office. I was like, this isn't a box office fight, but then it could be because it's going to be his last fight over here, and possibly his last fight ever. Now, Otto Wallin, not impressed with that guy. He's just a Swedish rug for me, especially going off his his second to last performance when he fought Anthony Joshua. Basically, just rolled himself out and let himself get walked over. Now, if it's the Otto Wallin what beat Dominic Brazil, the one what took Tyson Fury to the to the wire, down to the wire, then this could be a real tough night's fight for Derek. I'm opting for Derek to win. I want him to win. Should I say I'm rooting, sorry. I'm rooting for Del to win. Hopefully I'd like him to get a knockout. You know, to sign off over here in the UK, that'd be fantastic. If not, a points win. But if it's the Otto Wallin what fought Anthony Joshua, I don't see him giving Derek any trouble. Maybe some trouble, but I think Del will deal with him. But if it's the Otto Wallin what the Otto Wallin, I always call him Wallin, I don't know. The Otto Wallin what turned up against Tyson Fury, but that was quite a few years ago now. But if it is, and I think Derek's in for a real tough night, and that's pretty much it really. It's just, I don't know, because I mean, if Otto Wallin wins, where does he go? He can move on more, because I think I don't know how old he is, but I think Derek's 41, is he? Is he 41 or 40, turning 41 this year? Might even be turning 42. But he's there and thereabouts. You know, Derek's had a cracking career, hasn't he, really? I'd love him to get a win over here. I really would. I'd love him to get a win. I'd be made up for him. Now, I know I've given Del a bit of grief in the past, and it was only because, based off some of his performances, I was like, why do people still keep signing this medical card and letting this guy fight? You can clearly see that this guy he's old, man. He's an old veteran. You know. But then again, like I say, and then sometimes he pulled off a great win against Joe Joyce, which I had Joe Joyce to beat him. You know, he put Joyce on his arse. But even though he was taking a lot of punishment, he was on the ropes for a lot of that fight. He obviously gave back a lot, but Joe Joyce did have him on the ropes a lot in that fight. The Gerald Washington fight, for me, that was the final nail in the coffin for me, but he was really bad that night. He was missing like anything, swinging big haymakers. They were landing on Gerald Washington's shoulders and that, but I don't know, man. I think I'm glad that he's going to call it a day, you know. Look after your health and that. He's had some frigging hard fights, Derek has. You know, he's been starched 4 times. That one Dillian White did him all them years ago. Was it 2016? That was a horrible knockout, that. Horrible knockout. But Dal being Dal, he does keep showing up, don't he? He is a character. You gotta love him. As much as the little bit of stick I have given him over the years. And it was only basically because I was getting agitated with him, keep jumping in, like when Zhang beat Joyce the second time. And he was being, what was it, the first time? I think it might have been the first time. He was being interviewed. And Derek just kick crashed him and just said, I want to fight you. I want to fight you. You know, and I thought it was a bit disrespectful. But Del being Del, he's a character, isn't he? Anyway, let me know who you think will win. I think Derek will win this. I really do. I don't. Like I say, it all depends what Otto Wallin turns up, but I think they'll get him. I'm hoping so anyway. I really am. I'd love him to get a knockout on his final fight over here. I really would. Let me know who you think will win. I'll be back. I've got a crime watch video what I'm halfway through making. The final, the second one. Second part, which I'll probably load that tomorrow or Thursday. And I'm going to see if I can get hold of Jared, my little mate from down there in Wales, and go live for this Derek fight on Saturday night. And anyone else who wants to jump on, anyone else, I'll try and get someone to put the link in the chat. Or if not, I know a good man from across the pond who will do it for me. Anyway, peace out. Catch you soon.